Welcome to my makeshift vanity. If you saw my eyeshadow palette collection video, you'll know that I use a side table to store my makeup on. So down here is where my everyday makeup drawer is located. I apologize for all these stains that are on the drawer, but you know, when you have white furniture, it gets dirty. So what can you do? So this is my everyday makeup drawer. Kind of messy in here. This is like raw, unfiltered, what my makeup drawer actually looks like on an everyday basis. Don't mind these false lashes over here. I just store them there, but they're not really part of my everyday makeup drawer. So let's like pretend they're not there. So this is where I keep my makeup that I use on an everyday basis. Let me just move this palette so you can see the divider that I have. It's just a jewelry divider I got from Bed Bath & Beyond. I organize my makeup into the different sections, and then the palette kind of just sits on top because there's no spot for it. Alright, so I just got my tripod set up so we'll have a little bit more of a stable shot. So starting off with my eyeshadow palette that sits on top. This is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette, which I'm currently doing a pan that palette on. A little sneak peek of some progress that I am making on this palette. So the sections of this divider pretty much go face product and then eye products, and this blush is just chilling in the middle because there was no space for it anywhere else. So starting off with my face products, I have two primers in here. The first one is the One Heck of a Blot from Soap & Glory. This is my mattifying primer that I use in my T-zone. And then I also have my Laura Mercier Foundation Primer in Radiance. This is a more luminizing primer, and I'm also trying to pan this. So the only foundation I actually keep in here is this one, and it's the Super BB Insta Ready from Physicians Formula. This is a great foundation slash BB cream for oily skin, and it has SPF in it, which is really nice. I have the shade Light Medium, which is my summer shade, which is why it's currently in here, but I'm not quite as dark as the shade yet. So I've just been keeping it in here to mix with some of my lighter foundations, which I'm currently panning. And then as for my concealers, I have two because, again, I'm like not super tan, but I'm a little bit tanner than my winter shade. So I gotta mix two concealers to get my perfect shade. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Light 20, which I think they renamed this when they did their new launch. So I'm not quite sure what this is in the current shade range. This one's a little bit too light on me, so I do mix it in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, which I have in the shade Medium Light Neutral. This one's currently in my summer project pan, so I'm trying to use it up. I have two powders in here. One's here, and then one's living in the eye section because it had nowhere else to go. So the pressed powder that I keep in here is the Sexy Mama powder from The Balm, which is currently in my 2018 project pan. It's supposed to be a pressed powder, but at this point, it's basically a loose powder because it's like falling apart. The loose powder that I have is the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. I apologize, it's a little bit dirty. I have the SPF version. I like to use this when I go out more in the summertime. Like, I spend more time outside, so I like to use this to set my makeup. This is a really good powder for oily skin. It really controls my oils, and it gives me a little bit extra SPF protection. Alright, so back here is where I keep most of my cheek products, except for this guy right here. This is my Milani Romantic Rose blush, which is currently in my project pan. You probably can't tell because not a lot of visible progress happening, but yeah, this is in the shade Romantic Rose, if I didn't mention that already. And then I have my bronzer, which is the Laura Mercier Bronze 04, which is the base Radiance bronzers, I believe. I keep this in here because it's currently in my project pan, so I want to make sure I use it every single day. Then I also keep my NARS Hot Sand and Laguna. Why is everything so dirty in here? This packaging just like attracts dust. But yeah, so this is my limited edition Hot Sand and Laguna Duo, which I think came out last year or the year before. I'm currently trying to pan the highlighter in this, so it's currently in my everyday makeup drawer. And then I also have my Marc Jacobs Contour Duo in the shade 40 Mirage Filter, also in a project pan. If you can't tell, a lot of the products in here are project pan products because I want to remember to use them. So that's what that looks like. I'm getting some pretty good progress on this. I'm pretty proud of that. And lastly, for cheek products, I have my Kevyn Aucoin contour book. As you can see, this is very well loved. The packaging is like battered. And so I've been focusing on the cream products in this palette, but I have kind of been dipping into the sculpting powder just a little bit on like special occasions because I love the sculpting powder. Now moving on to eye products. Up here is where I keep all of my like potted eye products. So I have my Catrice gel eyeliner in waterproof. This is the black one. This is pretty much the only eyeliner I ever use. Then I have my brow pomade from Makeup Revolution. The name Revolution completely rubbed off of this. I have mine in the shade dark brown. And this is pretty comparable to the Anastasia Dip Brow, I would say, in my opinion. In formula, I just think that it's not quite as waterproof, but it's definitely very long wearing. Lastly, I have this smudge pot from e.l.f. in the shade Cruise and Chic, which is like a nice kind of taupey shade. The main reason this is in here is because I had one in Back to Basics, which was like a nice goldeny shade, and it went bad on me, so I decided to put this one in here to try to get some more use out of it before it goes bad, because I think I bought them at a similar time. Then back here is where I keep all of my like single eyeshadows. So I have the Estee Lauder Hot Cinnamon single that's currently in my project pan. And then I also have my MAC Arena single in here, which is in my summer project pan. Just trying to get some use out of this, and this is a great shade for the summertime. It's really nice all over the lid. Then I have my Bare Minerals duo in the Epiphany, which I don't think they even make anymore. And so I've been focusing on the shimmery shade, and this is also in my project pan. And then lastly, I have my Milani Bella Cafe eyeshadow, which is pretty much all done. I'm just trying to get this like last little corner right here. I'm trying to finish that up completely, and then I'm going to toss it. And lastly, over here, I have all of my like stick or slim figured eyeshadow products. So up here I just have a replacement for my Shiseido eyelash curler. So I have 2 eyeshadow primers in here if I can grab them. I have my Ulta eye primer in the shade Nude Matte, and then I also have my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the original one. And then I have 2 other cream eyeshadows in here. The first one is this Bare Minerals 5-in-1 BB Advanced Performance Cream Eyeshadow. Super long name. This I'm not super in love with, but I think it's starting to dry out, so I do want to start using it a little bit more. And I've been using it in conjunction with my Urban Decay primer potion because that one's clear and I like to have more of a nude base under my eyeshadows. And then this always lives in my everyday makeup drawer. This is the Ulta eye crayon in the shade Birthday Girl. It's just like a champagne-y pink color. Matches pretty much every single look that I do, and I like using this in my inner corner to help my inner corner highlight stay. I have a few other brow products in this section. So I have the Ulta Ultra Slim Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown, which I would say is pretty comparable to the NYX Micro Brow, which is pretty comparable to the Anastasia Brow Pencil. Really enjoyed that if I want a more like defined look, and the brow pomade just isn't giving it to me. And then I keep this in here even though I honestly haven't reached for it in a while. This is the Essence Make Me Brow, and I have it in the shade 02 Brownie Brows. I have my eyebrow brush in here, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills number 12 brush. This is the only brush I will use for brow pomade. This is seriously a life-changing product. If you don't have it, highly recommend it. It is amazing. And then I have my eyelash curler in here from Shiseido. Again, not cruelty-free, but I bought this before I went cruelty-free. It's a little bit dirty, I apologize. This is a really great eyelash curler for Asian eyes because it's a little bit flatter, if you can see. So you don't clip your eyes as much, which I really like. So hopefully this never breaks on me because I can't repurchase it if it does. And lastly, I have 2 mascaras in here, which both waterproof because I could only wear waterproof mascara, which sucks. So I have my Catrice Lashes to Kill, which I did a review on. If you want to see it, I will link it somewhere. This is a really great everyday mascara. And then I have my Urban Decay Cannonball, which I don't know if they've discontinued this or not, but this is like my holy grail mascara, high-end and drugstore. I love this mascara. I've never found anything that beats it. It has, I think, fibers in it, so it gives you a lot of length, but also gives you a lot of volume. I usually keep a tube of this in here. I don't use it every day necessarily, but when I want extra oomph, I will apply this first and then apply the Catrice mascara. Alright, so now that my drawer is empty, I should probably wipe this down before I put everything back in there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!